Welcome to Literati on News Central, where we dive deep into stories that shape our world, created by Africa's brightest literary stars. I'm your host, Judith Atibi, and here literature meets life. Each episode, we explore the stories behind the stories, dive into books that don't just leave on the page, they spark something in us. Sometimes it's curiosity, sometimes it's courage, and most times it's compassion. Today, we spotlight New York, My Village, the novel from celebrated Nigerian author Uwem Akpan. New York, My Village follows Ekong Ido-Osuro, a Nigerian editor from the minority Anang community who travels to New York for a Toni Morrison Fellowship to edit an anthology on the Biafran War. In Manhattan, it confronts the racism, both subtle and overt, of publishing culture, hostile neighbors, and immigrant housing woes, including everything else that you can think of. As Ekong navigates life in the U.S., his experiences mirror the trauma and tribal complexities of Nigeria, raising urgent questions about memory, identity, and belonging. And I have my guest today, the author of the book, Uwem Akpan. Hailing from Akwa Ibom State in southern Nigeria, he's an Anang writer and also a former Jesuit priest. He earned international acclaim with his award-winning 2008 short story collection, Say You Are One of Them, which won the Commonwealth Writers' Prize. He's also a pen, and as well as the Pen Open Book Award and Houston Wright Legacy Award, also becoming an Opera Book Club pick. His debut novel, which is New York, My Village, was published in November of 2021 by W.W. Norton and was named Strand Bookstore's Pick of the Month, as well as longlisted for the NLNG Prize for Literature in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Uwem Akpan. Uwem, welcome to Literati.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. First of all, you are an award winner. I have to say, I mean, Commonwealth Prize, your book winning for Africa, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then now your debut novel is also being longlisted for $100,000 prize. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for the welcome. What else can I say?
I must say that I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. We both are from South-South, considered the minorities of the minority.
Aqua Cross.
So we're considered the minority of the minorities,
yes.
If you know what I mean. And so being from a minority group as we are, how did that sense of not exactly belonging in many spaces in Nigeria sort of shape you writing about this character who already doesn't belong in all of these spaces and then goes all the way to another country entirely and faces a different type of racism that's, you know, just captured in this book?
Yes. You've captured it well, Judith. It's difficult to be a minority of minorities. A few years ago, when the book came out, one of my Yoruba friends, you know, said to me, I never knew there were minorities in Biafra. I thought it was all Igbo. I've been thinking you were Igbo, you know.
Yeah.
And this person is a very educated person,
Right.
knows a lot.
Right.
So I'm like, wow. So it's been difficult. You know, we don't know each other in Nigeria. Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, that's basically it.
Right.
It's like the rest of us are expected to line up behind these groups. And it's so frightening that increasingly, at least from my part of the world, the Efiks, the Anangs, the Bibios, the Orons, people are being called peace instead of They're changing their names English, you know, so that there are no, you know, questions.
Right.
I keep saying to minorities, where are you from? Oh, I'm Nigerian. I'm like, I'm Nigerian too. Where are you from? I'm from South-South.
Yeah.
Where are you from? I live in Uyo. It's like, do you know your ethnic group? Amana.
Yeah. I hear you in that one.
Yeah. So there's this fear, this inability, you know, to say, this is who we are. The Yorubas don't have that problem. The Igbos don't have that problem. The Hausas don't have that problem. You know, the last time we played in AFCON, you know, there was a guy, I've forgotten his name. He's from Ogoja area.
Yeah,
he came in.
I am from that area.
Yeah,
as well, yeah,
and scored that penalty.
Right.
And I searched everywhere for his ethnicity. It took me like 2 weeks. I started asking people from Ogoja area, is this your own? Finally, someone said, yes, it's from one of the, you know, groups. From
Yeah.
I said, why are you not celebrating him? Why are you not mentioning his group?
Right.
You know,
Right.
nothing. Yeah, so there is, you know, the fear, the distancing from our own roots. So I was, you know, I'm a very proud Anang person. I get along with people in this country and outside the country. I've lived in Abuja, I've lived in Lagos, I've lived in Benin City, I've lived in Ibadan. So I'm fine. But I'm very proud to be Anang, and I feel everybody should be proud of their roots.
And, funny thing is, my last name is always very confusing to people. When people see me, what they immediately think of is that, oh, I'm Igbo. And when I say I'm not Igbo, it's like, yeah, I was going to say your last name, Atibi. Where is it from? I say Christopher. Oh, so you're Efik. No, I'm not. I'm not from Calabar. And then I start to explain it. I'm so used to it at this time. I'm waiting for the next question. I'm anticipating the next question before it falls. And so it makes me wonder, you know, why, you know, this decision to write a Biafra story from a minority, which is much welcome, right? Because we hardly see that. It's normally told from an Igbo point of view, but never from the minority point of view. And so it made me wonder, you know, you writing it, the history behind it, the research that you had to do. Your first book came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Long time before another book was published in 2021. And so I can imagine what that work looked like for you. Talk to me about the journey.
Yeah, when my first book came out, I did not know where to go. I knew I wanted to write about Biafra, but how do you frame it? Where do you set it? So, though I had been researching for 30 years, since age 19, I'd been asking when I was in Benin City, you know, as a seminarian, every Sunday I would take communion to one old lady. And this was 1990 to 1992. So I had done this for a few months when one day I was going to give this old lady communion. I had taken it out of, you know, they have forgotten the technical name. I had taken it out. And all of a sudden she said, you're Biafran, you raped me, you raped me, you raped me. So I was weak. I had to, you know, you raped me, you're Biafran. So I waited for her to pour this out. I didn't want to cut in. When she had finished, I said, I was in Biafra.
But it was not my decision.
It wasn't my. So we kept talking, and I said, I'm a minority in Biafra. So, oh, you're not Igbo? I said, no, I'm not. Suddenly she calmed down and started learning, and then we got to giving her the communion. So outside the old Eastern Nigeria, many people don't know that they were minorities. The war propaganda was huge. Even some professors, some American professors, spread this fallacy, this propaganda that all of us minorities in Biafra were a variant
of the Igbo, of the Igbo language. Okay. I think that, and that's why I said at the beginning, the minority of the minorities is what we are. And even when it comes to representation, the truth of the matter is, we haven't been well represented, whether in Biafra or in Nigeria.
That's true.
And the leaders who have been handpicked to represent us oftentimes are more they have more self-ambition and interest as opposed to liberation of the people and representation of the people. Now, we're going to get into the other side of the pond where Ekong arrives in New York and faces quickly faces racism, right?
Yeah.
But first, we need to go on a short break. You're watching Literati here on News Central Television. My guest today is Uwem Akpan. He's the author of New York, My Village, his debut novel, which is now being longlisted for the NLNG Prize for Literature. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we talk about racism. And of course, that question, existential question of the Anang people that was asked when he went to an embassy. After the break, stay with us.
Africa needs its own storytellers, people who understand the continent because they're from it. People who know that news is more than just a conversation starter, it's our stories. Because these stories run deeper than headlines and segments. It's about digging deeper to get the facts and telling the human side of every single story, not just the echoes from foreign headlines and perspectives. It's time to take back our narratives and share them in our voices. The birth of Africa's New Age reporting, and this is where it begins, right here at News Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.
Hey, welcome back. You're watching Literati here on News Central Television. My guest today is Uwem Akpan. He's the author of the book we're discussing, New York, My Village, his debut novel that was published in 2021 and now been longlisted for the NLNG Prize for Literature or for Prose in 2025. An award winner as well. His very first book, a collection of short stories, was also an award winner for the Commonwealth Prize in 2008. Right, yeah, there we go. Now, before the break, we were talking about your protagonist in this book and his journey, Ekong, right? And you just, and also just narrating what it means like for you documenting minorities and their experience in Biafra. But let's talk about Ekong, right? He arrives in New York, very enthusiastic, because he's won his followership
After suffering in the embassy.
And what's interesting about it is when he got to the embassy, an official question was asked, and that questioning was the existence of Anang people. They were very surprised to see, So the subtle biases was already there to begin with. And then he goes abroad to now quickly face racism. How do these experiences shape the emotional arc of the novel? And did you draw from your experiences as well?
Yeah, just for the purpose of fairness.
Yeah.
When Nigeria came to flush out the Biafrans, they also turned on us.
Yeah,
so we
minorities.
Yeah, we suffered from both sides. The atrocities have stayed with us, trauma. That's why we are not able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then the minorities, because of what Biafra did to us, they also used us as human shield. According to the New York Times, they will raid villages and position you between the advancing Nigerian, army and the Igbos. They actually say they fleeing Igbos. So the minorities did react. They did hit back. I just want to be honest and all this. Anyway, Ekong Udawusoro goes to the embassy. He suffers, a lot, but he gets that visa at the end of the day. So that's where the racism begins, in that embassy, and you can't even say who you are because you are not known. It's like what's happening now in Benue State, the slaughter of the thieves and the Idomas, and the Plateau states and all these, pockets of minorities. Because nobody knows them. CNN won't carry it. BBC would not really carry it. If this had happened to the Yorubas and the Hausas, and so there is a consequence. There's a consequence when you are not known. If you die, nobody would remember you. So Ekong gets into New York City. I wanted to place tribalism, racism.
And I see that you're doing that pendulum. It keeps shifting side by side. It's like, it can't seem to catch a break.
Yeah. 1 week, one trouble.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like that for minorities. You are constantly pivoting. who is my ally.
Yeah.
And it also forces you to try to be so sweet and nice,
right?
You know, to kind of win, you know, the favor of, you know, the people around you. It's like if you are the only woman in a business environment of 50, 100 men,
right?
You're gonna play very difficult politics. You gotta be on your feet to make sure you survive, because before you know it, they're going to say, "Oh, she cannot work with us. She's depressed. You know, let's bring a man."
Yeah.
Not knowing that this environment, this environment, is making this not work for you.
One of the things you do very well, I must say, is you shifting between biting satire, heartfelt moments. I mean, and all
You're
while
laughing and crying.
Yeah, and all while tackling very tragic themes, you know, and at the same time humorous, you know, observations. From the very first page, you are cackling, you know, you're laughing because they're good. But at the same time, these are very heavy topics. I have to ask, how are you able to balance that out?
Because I believe humor allows us to face ourselves. At some point, you have to laugh at yourself, even as individuals. You know, you just look and say, I messed up. I should have done it this way. I made a mistake there. How do I live with myself? Now, whenever there is a war, the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people are very tense. But after a year, they learn to laugh. Curiously, they're married. So after a while, the human spirit tries to adjust. And even very poor people, in the midst of hunger, they try and laugh. Because everything is
In fact, they're by far the most funniest people I know. Because the truth of the matter is, rich people are not funny. You just laugh because they have money. But the poor guys, I mean, when you look at the trajectory of every comedian, when they were more poor and hungry, they were funnier. As they grow older and they get more wealthy, they're not so, we just give them the rich laugh. They're not funny. They're not funny.
I know. It's because they have to make it work for them. Those suffering, they have to make it, you know, what are they going to do? What is left? So they make fun of themselves. So humor allows you to do that. Satire even goes deeper. It cuts into the bone. So because it's funny, if it's all grim, and there's no humor, it's difficult.
It's difficult.
But if you are laughing and crying and you don't know which is which, then I believe that's how I should tell my stories.
There's a tradition we do here. It's called Literati. It's called Humor Judith Game Show.
Okay.
Right? It's where I ask you rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And you have to answer. You don't think, you just answer fast.
Oh my goodness.
You cannot think.
Okay.
Times Square vibe or village storytelling, or village square storytelling?
I don't even understand the language.
Times Square in New York or village square, which is it?
You mean like back home?
Yeah. Oh my God, man.
Back home. Yeah, back home, my village.
We're talking about food. One Nigerian dish that just reminds you of home every time. Ekpankukwo. That's the most difficult.
I've learned to cook it so all the time.
How? Really? Because now it's now so easy now. There's now machines. You can blend the watayama and everything. Back in those days, Shebi would be grating early momo in Calabar. When I wake up,
the difficult one is even wrapping.
When you
wrap.
You now wrap with the cocoa leaf. Oh gosh. It takes us 3 hours, but after we finish having the meal, sleeping for the entire afternoon in Calabar, Calabar South. Big shout out to all my friends at Mount Zion. Moving on. Favorite city you've lived in besides your hometown? You can't think,
Well, Ibadan, Lagos, Benin City.
I said one.
I can choose. Now, in the U.S., I can choose.
U.S., US.
Yeah, Omaha.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's the first place
Isn't it a place what?
I lived in. Is it what?
No, let's go. Moving on. Laughable misunderstanding you faced in America. Laughable misunderstanding you faced in America.
I can't remember, but there are a lot. I don't have time to think. Go ahead.
Favorite writer on Biafra or memoir?
Favorite writer
on Biafra or a memoir? that is on about Biafra? Who has written about Biafra that is true to accounts that you said, yes, this is one author that have done justice?
I like The Man Died by Wole Soyinka. And let me quickly give you the reason.
Why?
It's one of the few times I've seen someone from a different ethnic group stepping into the issue of another ethnic group so deeply, you know, to say, look, these people are people, let's not do this to them. He crossed a line there gracefully, and I cannot thank him enough.
One lesson Ekong teaches us.
Make sure bed bugs does not bite your penis.
Oh my God! Fiction or non-fiction? Which fuels your next? Which will fuel your next project?
I don't
Fiction
know.
or non-fiction? Gosh.
I don't know.
Music that helped you while you were writing this novel. King Zero Boy.
What King? What?
King Zero Boy.
What is King Zero Boy?
Zero Boy now.
Is it in the book? Where is that coming from? You asked me for music, you are bringing your music. Judith, what is wrong with you? That's the end of question.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You say, oh, I'm sorry now. Hey, help me.
What?
The music. An artist or a song that helped you during this writing. That help you to connect with the Anang people? Or the Anang experience?
Ukokpan is there, but I also like Tiwa Savage. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Why? You got a problem?
I'm sorry. A ritual that grounded you during tough drafts. A ritual that grounded you during tough drafts.
Long road trips.
Oh, nice.
I'm capable of driving for 5 days, sleeping at night. So one time I went from Gainesville, Florida to Saskatoon, Canada. That's 5 days. That's 34, 35 hours. So I do that a lot. The day I was told the book has been accepted.
Yeah, you were on the road in a motel.
I drove for 5 hours listening to music.
Oh, that's cute.
And then drove back. So that's 10 hours of driving within that day. So it helps me a lot, driving. I used to drive in Nigeria, but now insecurity has
Let's not even start. If New York, My Village had a closing line, what would it be?
Exactly what it is in the book. Should I open it?
Yes, go ahead. I want you to read it out for everyone.
Oh, man.
Do you want me to help you? Because your acknowledgement is plenty.
It's plenty.
Oh, is there enough time? Let's go very quickly. Let's go. While you put on your glasses. There's never time. Okay, we're gonna. Oh, there it is.
So this is about Ekong, you know, finally getting the neighbors who now love him to spray him. So with and is it insecticide?
Yeah.
So that he would not take bed bugs back to Nigeria.
Is it?
I wobbled out into the taxi with my load. I turned to wink at the guys. They gave me a thumbs up with both hands. When the vapors in my clothes drew a double sneeze from the driver, finally I relaxed in the hope that even if our nemesis, the bed bugs, were already in the car, I was safe.
There you go. See, that's it. I must say thank you so much.
Judith, I'm very happy. Finally, I'm sitting with a South person, my sister. We are doing this.
Yeah.
I thank you for all the literature stuff you do. I follow you on Instagram. That's where I first discovered you, and I was like, I have to be on the show.
This was a long time coming. This has been a long time coming. Yes. I must say thank you for your patience. And I think that everything worked out for good. Because now more than ever, this book is now getting the recognition that he needed.
Thank you very much.
And at that time, if it had been, it would have been on radio, but now this has to be on television for the entire world to see.
You're also good for television.
Uwem, congratulations again. I do hope that this story continues to spark these conversations that we need to have about, which is tribalism that we're facing here, racism, and of course, Nigerian diaspora and all the experiences that they face. So thank you so much. Thank you. My guest today has been Uwem Akpan. He is the author of New York, My Village. his debut novel, and of course, now being longlisted for the NLNG Prize for Prose for 2025. Now, if you're just tuning in, we are done, but please make sure to join us next week for another episode of Literati. Until I come your way next time, I am Judith Atibi. Please keep reading. Bye for now.
News Central TV, the stories that put Africa first.